Hello, everyone. Today I want to share Genesis chapter 50. Today is the last day of Genesis. We started Genesis from this year, 2021, and today is the last day for Genesis 50. So as I prepared the Genesis 50, I found two questions from here. So will you think about this answer? Number one, what is faith? How do you think? There are many ways to describe what the faith, but how do you think what is the faith? Second, why should we forgive someone who hurt us in the past? Is there anyone who hurt you a lot and then damaged your life terribly? In that case, why should we forgive him or her? So as we read the chapter 50, I tried to answer these two questions. The first of all, let us think, what is faith? This abstract concept of faith is hard to describe, but there are many people what the faith is, to describe what the faith is. But how about you? But in the Bible, the faith is described like this. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So here, we trusted God really surely do it. Look at this one. The picture, the timing, our timing can be different, God's timing, but we have a faith that God surely do that. And then we trusted that God will accomplish something that we never seen yet. Okay, so let's think if from Genesis 50, okay, when Jacob went to Goshen, God told him that I myself go down with you to Egypt, and I will also bring you up again, and Joseph's hand shall close your eyes. When God told this one, Jacob did not Joseph yet. So meeting Joseph is an unseen future. At that moment, he cannot be sure that Joseph really can be with him when he died. But he trusts God make that unseen future to be his reality. So here also, Jacob did not know how God will bring him back to the Canaan, but he trusted God will make it possible. That's why he commanded his sons to bring him to Canaan when he died. Okay, so this was Jacob's faith that God will make it possible. So unseen future becomes reality. Let us think about it. What is unseen future and what is reality? In Genesis, as God promised Jacob before Jacob met Joseph, Joseph was with Jacob when Jacob died. So in Genesis 46, to meet Joseph and he will be with Jacob, it was unseen future. But in Genesis 50, it became reality that when Jacob died, Joseph was with him. So this chapter 50 demonstrate how unseen future becomes reality. The other case is also this one. After Jacob died, Joseph went to Canaan with a great company and buried his father Jacob there, as God promised Jacob to bring him back to Canaan. At the moment when God promised Jacob, it was unseen future. And Jacob did not know how God will make it possible. But that was unseen future, but Jacob had faith in that promise. And in Genesis 50, we see that how God make unseen future to be a reality, because after Jacob died, Joseph really brought to Canaan with a great company. Jacob's funeral was very big, and then so many people grieved together for his death. So We do not see the future. Jacob did not see the future, but all of us know that how God make it possible become a reality. So next question, why should we forgive someone who hurt us in the past? Okay, we do not want to meet someone who hurt us, but sometimes we meet them. And then in the case, if someone hurt me, I do not want to forgive, but through Genesis 50, we can find the answer about this question. Why should we forgive someone who hurt us in the past? This is conversation between Joseph and his brothers after Jacob died. So here, his brothers also came and fell down before him and said, "Behold, we are your servants." But Joseph said to them, "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. So do not fear. I will provide for you and your little ones." Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Maybe you can also imagine that how fearful his brothers feel when his father died, because they remember what they did to Joseph. However, here we see that Joseph forgave them, right? Though they hated Joseph, and then they sold Joseph, and then because of that, he suffered a lot. But in this point, he forgave his brothers. So here, we have to see that God made the promise with Abraham. So throughout Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God was faithful. And then Joseph also experienced God's big picture in his life. Okay, so he experienced that God secured his life, though he went through many trials. And then Joseph also see that how God transformed them. And then he also see that how God showed miracle. So God promised Abraham, originally called Abram, and to make his nation great. Throughout 3 generations, God was faithful to his promise and did amazing things beyond their expectation. So when God promised Abraham, it was unseen future. But now at the moment, in the Genesis 50, we can see how God accomplished all those things. It become the reality. So why should we forgive someone who hurt us in the past? That's because God can transform our broken hearts into benefit for many people. Joseph told, and then because Joseph told that as his brothers sold him for a slave, he had a chance to came to the Egypt, and then he became a prime minister. And then it was the best way to secure many people's lives. That's why he can say that though brothers did evil things to him, but God changed it. And the blessing for many people, not just only for Joseph. And then the next one is that's because God can accomplish his great will even through our grieving past. So we have to remember that God had been preparing a bigger picture. To see that we need the faith that God is working and God is preparing a bigger picture. So here Joseph told like that, as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it out bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. So through this one, we can learn that we should trust that God can mean it for good. Anything happen, any bad thing happen to us, do not worry, do not be frustrated, because God can mean it for good. According to God's big picture, God can transform it. And the second part is Joseph told his brothers that, so do not fear, I will provide for you and your little ones. Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. So when God changed our suffering into great blessing, and then we found that what was God's big picture, then what we should have to do is that we have to forgive those who hurt us and help them with their needs. So here, what is important is that Joseph forgave his brothers. It's really hard to do, but Joseph had the faith in God. That's why about the big picture. So he could forgive his brothers. But that is not the end. Beyond forgiveness, at this moment, he will help his brothers. Beyond forgiveness, he demonstrates kindness and generous. Also, he comforted his brothers. So that's what we have to do. We have to forgive others and help them with their needs. So in conclusion of Genesis 50, what is the faith? The faith is that to trust that God will make our unseen future to be our reality if God promised it. Second one, why we should forgive others. That's because as God promised, he can accomplish his big picture even through our grieving past. Our grieving past is a past, not the present and not the future. God changed our past into great joy and a benefit for many people. And then we can see God's big picture. So past is past, but God changed that past into bright present and future. That's why we have to forgive someone who hurt us. So facing forward, unseen future can be reality if God promised it. That moment, what we need, that is our faith. And then we have to forgive someone who hurt us because we trust that God will make a bigger picture out of our suffering. Facing forward, thank you very much.